Hi guys, we're on part 5 of the Sabbath commandment. Let's dive into Exodus chapter 20 verse 8 to 11. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son nor thy daughter, the manservant nor the maidservant nor the cattle, nor the stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore God blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. The question is, when is the Sabbath? We're told here in Exodus chapter 20 verse, I believe it's verse 10 or 11, that God rested on the seventh day. We're told here to keep the seventh day holy. Let's go to Genesis chapter 2 verse 1 to 3. It says, "Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made. And God rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made." Now, here when we are introduced to the Sabbath in the book of Genesis, God repeats the seventh day, the seventh day, the seventh day. He repeats it by saying the seventh day in its exact form 3 times. He also says in it, referring to the seventh day, using pronouns. So here we have numerous repetitions about the seventh day, the seventh day, the seventh day. Notice, the Bible doesn't say a seventh day. It says the seventh day. It uses the definite article the, meaning it is a specific day. So, which day is the Sabbath? The Sabbath day is the seventh day. And which is the seventh day of the week? The seventh day of the week is Saturday. It is not any other day. You may not like it, but it's the truth. The seventh day is not Sunday, it is not Monday, it is not Tuesday, it is not Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The seventh day is Saturday. And from generations to generations, ever since the world was created, Adam kept Saturday as the Sabbath. Noah kept Saturday as the Sabbath. Enoch, Saturday as the Sabbath. All the prophets in the Old Testament kept Saturday as the Sabbath. The apostles in the New Testament kept Saturday as the Sabbath. Yes, sometimes they would meet on Sunday to fellowship, but they would keep the Sabbath day holy. Now, this does not mean that that Saturday is the only day that you're supposed to go to church. You can go to church any day. This does not mean that Saturday is the only day you're supposed to worship God. You can worship God any day, but make sure you keep the seventh day, which is Saturday, holy. You can worship God on Sunday. You can go to church on Sunday. You can worship God on Monday. You can go to church on that Monday, but make sure you keep the seventh day holy, because the seventh day is the Sabbath. Because the seventh day is the Sabbath day, and the seventh day is Saturday. And this thing is so obvious. Even when you Google, when you ask ChatGPT, when you try to look for which day is the seventh day anywhere, you'll find that the seventh day is Saturday. The seventh day starts from Friday sunset to Saturday sunset, because the days of the week don't start at midnight as we are all taught, but they start in the evening. And this we see the evidence in Genesis chapter 1, when God creates the world. He says, "And the evening and the morning were the first day." Days start in the evening. So, from Friday sunset to Saturday sunset is the Sabbath. And from Friday sunset to Saturday sunset, that is the proper and the correct seventh day. Does this mean that all people who don't keep the Sabbath will go to hell? No, it doesn't mean that. However, if you have been convicted, if you have come to the knowledge that the seventh day is the Sabbath, and you continue being rebellious by not keeping it, you will surely go to hell, because God does not like rebelliousness. So keep the Sabbath day holy. May God bless you super abundantly.